This is Pikachu. This is Cthulhu. And this is Pika Cthulhu. This sculpture started as a fun idea, but it quickly turned into something much stranger and more frustrating. I was doodling away one day and suddenly thought to myself, Pikachu and Cthulhu. Their names kind of make a good pun, don't they? Do they? Yeah, they do. So while I normally make creepy cryptids, sit back, relax, and enjoy my 1,000 subscriber special. Let's get started. So as always, I think we're going to use a little bit of tin foil to start off with the base of this sculpture, and some sculpting wire to help support his legs. And then we're going to pad that out with our first layer of clay. Stick his little stumpy legs on. Make sure he's nice and stable. Going straight in with the face now, and like I said, this is Pikachu Mark 1, so he's not the final product, but he had a big influence on how the second one turned out. These are little pre-baked teeth that I've already made, and they're just going to slot straight into those holes. Making some tentacles here, some ridges scored into one side, and then his little tentacle suckers on the inner section. And to be fair, they look pretty cool. They're just going to go all around the neck area and the base of the face, and then we're going to pop his fingers in. And this is what Pikachu really thinks of you, if you catch my drift. I'm just getting rid of as many fingerprints as possible now. Bit of isopropyl alcohol, and the sculpt himself is done. He actually looks pretty cool. We've gone with a nice bright yellow, because he's Pikachu. And we're just going to pop a bit of green on him, but I'm not too happy with the texture that came out on the ears and the face. I feel like it's a bit angular and it could have done with like sanding down a bit more. That's one of the reasons why I didn't stick with this sculpture in the end. And this is where I think I kind of started to go wrong. The varnish in itself was kind of okay, it did take away some of the texture, but the real killer was the resin. So I used this UV resin because I thought, you know, if you're making a monster, make him slimy. Pop a load of resin on, and I think it just ruined the sculpture, if I'm perfectly honest. So off he went, and we started on our fresh one. Pikachu Mark 2 is, he started off pretty similarly to the first one. He's got a longer body because I think I'm going to go for a kind of like sluggy creature with like a cute Pikachu head on the top. So I want him to be like cute up top, eldritch horror down below. I think that's going to work pretty well. Pop him a couple of ears on. Now, I haven't given him quite the same jaw as the last sculpture that I just made, but his teeth are gonna kind of fit around the same, you know, side to side of, at the moment, this giant tongue. I think I'm actually going to change that later. And here we're just applying a bit of texture. So I'm using these rollers from my last video, or maybe the video before that, I can't remember. And I need a better idea for how I'm going to like integrate his arms, because when I made the last sculpture, I don't think I made him Pikachu-y enough. Like, I still kind of want it to be cute in some ways and creepy in others. So I think the way I'm going to do it this time round is make him all Pikachu from the top down to kind of like mid-face, enough so you could recognize him and he looks kind of cute still. And then we're just going to like transform the bottom half of his body into something more eldritch. I think that's going to work pretty well. So, yeah, I'm just kind of playing around with the idea of some sort of kind of tentacly appendages, some sort of like rib cage bits coming out, something like that. There's not a lot of texture that I'm putting in this, and texture can quite often save you a lot of hassle and make you look like you're a better sculptor than you are, because you can just cover up stuff. I'm making some really tiny tentacle suckers now. If you're enjoying the video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more monstrous mashups in the future. Now I just need to focus on making it as eldritch as possible, you know. I'm thinking kind of like sluggy, caterpillary, kind of tentacled, you know, it's just a mix of anything that doesn't really make much use of bones, I suppose. And at this stage, I think we've kind of nailed it. I think it's looking pretty good. I mean, it all depends on the paint job at the end of the day, but I think sculpt-wise, you know, I'm pretty chuffed with this. I think it looks pretty good. I'm doing my voiceover after making this, and I've just realised that I've got some proper what's-it fingers there. I might have been a bit too liberal with the yellow paint. A nice sort of pink base coat on the tongue and the chest, because they're going to be the sort of fleshy areas. So we'll just slap a little bit on there. I'm not really sure how fleshy I want to go with this, but you know, we start off simple, and we'll build up on our way. Now, this is probably one of my favourite parts of doing a sculpture, is when you paint the eyes in. I love painting a good eyeball. A little bit of bone white on the teeth, although to be perfectly honest, I don't know what he's going to be chewing with teeth that are halfway down his face, but there we go. Pop his little ear tips on. Like I said, I want the top half of the Pikachu to look as Pikachu-ish as possible. I want him to be super cute, I want him to have the full range of your classic Pikachu. Here we go. So, once again, I am incredibly indecisive and I don't really know what colours to paint him, so as he's an eldritch beast from the depths, I thought I'd put a bit of green on. And, do you know what, watching this back, it actually doesn't look too bad, but while I was doing it, I changed my mind, like I always do, and I got rid of the green again. I'm pretty chuffed with how well I managed to pull off a kind of like circle-y shaped, I mean I know it's a bit more of an oval, but it's not a mess. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, we're looking pretty damn good, to be honest. I'm liking this a lot. In fact, dare I say it, I'm at the stage where I start really worrying that I'm going to mess it up by going a bit too overboard. You know, there's a happy medium with the paint job, and I usually get a bit carried away and end up having to start painting it all over again, because I messed it up. But he's looking good. We're just going to glaze over the more fleshy parts there. I often go overboard with the resin and I mash my sculptures up, but this time round I think I just want a nice little bit over the fleshy parts at the front, maybe on the tongue, and we'll probably pop some in on the eyes. And this stuff's pretty good. I mean, UV resin is an absolute game changer. It's just so convenient to be able to shine a torch on it and get it to set. But look at that, his tongue looks bloody fantastic. And I think Pikachu Cthulhu's pretty much done, so it's just time for the glamour shots now. Enjoy!